in this Hall of Fame, and it's much more difficult to be up here tonight. But I do want to. I'm filled with gratitude, and I need to thank some people. And if you know me, you know that I want to thank every single person in here, and I want to tell a story about every single person in here. But I know I can't. I know Jeff. I know that I can't. When I used to coach a TA, and we would have our banquets, we would all be sitting. All the coaches would be sitting up here. And we would do, we'd have baseball, softball, track, what else, Mark, help me? Tennis. And so we would fill this huge room. And so they would go through all their things, and, they'd say, okay, so Brent Osler, Scott Brothers, there's a basketball team, Mark Kessler, come up and get your thing. Here's Mark Kessler's MVP, okay, Donnie Ellis, you're this. Well, when I got up, all the rest of the coaches were like, there he goes again. Because whenever my players were coming up, if Trisha Hall was getting MVP, I wanted everybody to know why Trisha got MVP. Because I thought if you're going to have a banquet and you're going to honor people, you should say something special about them. So I'm sorry if I run a little long. I'm not going to mean to. Second thing is if I leave somebody out, it will break my heart much more than yours. It's not because you're not special. Once we had, do y'all think if I had a party I would forget Emily? Marla, would I forget Emily? No. No. Clay, would I forget Emily?
No way.
Mary, would I forget Emily? Okay.
No boss.
No boss. Once we had this huge, Donnie and I, we had this huge luncheon in Clint. We had a staff Christmas party for all the ladies, and all the people took lessons from us, and all our members. Guess who I forgot? Emily. I'm only telling you that, so if I don't mention your name tonight, it's not because you're not important to me, because I promise you, Emily Baker is somebody I would never forget anywhere. First of all, and I'll try to be quick. Oh, boy, does anybody need to get up and go to the bathroom? Tommy, you need a drink? Good. All right. Wayne, everybody good? I think you guys stand. Jake, everybody good? Forrest? All right. All right, Jake needs a drink. Hey, somebody get Jake a drink. But seriously, Mark talked about dedication and passion. I learned that from my parents. My mom and dad are here tonight. My sister and sister-in-law and brother, and I'm so glad y'all are here tonight. You guys don't think you've ever even seen me hit a tennis ball. Mom and Dad seen me hit a tennis ball when I played for 72 hours that time, and they came and saw me. It's the only time they've ever seen me play. But, I mean, dedication and passion I learned from my mom and dad. That's where I learned it. My dad worked for Coca-Cola for 40 years. He was up before 5 o'clock every morning going to work. My mom is a saint, right, Dad? She's a saint. They've been married, how long have they been married? 55 years in June? 54 years in June 1st, they'll be 50, married. If that's not dedication and passion, I don't know what it is. They led by example. And both my parents, my mom always wanted me to have something as a profession that I loved to do. Because she knew that if I was passionate about something, I'd never have to work a day in my life. And my dad, he's always had this passion for old cars. And I asked him one time, he loves old cars. And I asked him one time, I said, Dad, what is it about old cars, And he said, son, when I'm in my old cars with my buddies, I feel young again. It makes me feel like a kid. And I get that. That's what tennis does for me. That's what being on the court with my students, my ladies, or playing, that's what it does for me. It makes me feel like a kid again. Because tennis it's just a special thing. It's brought us all here. Donnie said it over and over again last year about how special tennis is. But thank you, Mom and Dad, for teaching me and leading by example, and meant a lot. My Coleman friends, Tim, Greg, Vicki, Chip, thank y'all for coming tonight. Chip, if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be up here because I'd still be sacking groceries at Warehouse Discount Groceries. And that's because Chip, he was my cool friend, and he was going to go to the University of Alabama, and so I decided I'd go with him, and that's how I got there. My Indian Hills family, and I say family because if that's just the way I feel about things. You know, if you've been a part of our club, I mean, you're a member of my family, and family members are like Martha, who never forgets anything that happens with Bella. She always remembers every Valentine's, Christmas, we're going on a trip. I mean, that's special. She doesn't have to do that, but she's like my sister. The Kirbys, Connie's here, and Lee. I mean, I taught Lee from the time she was this big. She was, well, anyway. What I was going to say was, Connie, thank you and Hal. I mean, y'all had 2 wedding parties for me. How am I doing, Clay?
You're great, man.
So, thank you. I mean, Connie, I remember the one with Jill, but she reminded me that you'd also had one for us with my previous wife. And then but that's what a family does. All of you that are my Indian Hills family and all my friends here tonight, you've been through some really good times and bad times with me, and I appreciate you that you've loved me through the bad times, whether I was being immature or whatever. I appreciate it, and that's because that's what a family does. You love each other through all of it. Christine, who got the limo for all you guys tonight, I mean, that's pretty special. When I have surgery, who's the first one at my house? Joyce Jurich with a pot roast waiting on me. I mean, you just, things like that, and what can you say about my students that I've taught? Whether it's Madison, Bella, Big G, Grant Brazino here this morning, here today, Melanie. I mean, that's the reason, that gets me out of bed every morning, is the people that I get to interact with every day. And I'm so thankful for that, because a lot of people don't get to do that. In my family, I've got my godmothers. I have Eleonora and Barbara. Thank you. They're Stephanie's godparents, and so that makes her good godparents too. I have my the godfather, Jack Capan. Jack has been my general manager for so long, and on those bad days when I feel like I'm about to, Mark was talking about me talking people off a ledge, he would have to talk me off a ledge. He always knew the right things to say to me to make me diffuse any situation, and I'm so proud to call you a friend, Jack. Thank you. And so excited to have Susan Lavender taking over as our general manager, and you've got some great ideas, and I can't wait. I hope I have another 20 years with you guys. My work wives, see, Jill's my wife, and I have work wives. Well, see, Phyllis was one of my work wives once. She's my pro shop manager. Tracy was my work wife once, and now I have Clay's my work wife. Clay. I'll leave it at that. Clay, I love you. You know, I tell you all the time how much I appreciate it. I'm not being silly. We couldn't make it without you. You and Clint and Cleve, my staff, you're awesome. Tennis committee chairmen that I've worked for, Jay, Roger, Wayne, and you guys have taught me so much. Same thing, you always had my back, and I appreciate it. It means a lot. Jill said I couldn't say this, but then I have who we kind of say to ourselves, are my FOKs, this friend of Keith, my Kristen Thomasons, Tracy again, Melanie, Tricia. You all know who you are. The people that I bounce things off of when I need to know what's the true feeling of what's going on out there. And I appreciate you for always being honest with me. But you can tell that we basically I've got Hall of Fame members, and I'm very thankful for them. All right, I'm almost done. Okay? Okay. The teams that I've been fortunate enough to coach, whether it was a West End team that they were 8th graders, and then they were 9th graders, and the Clint was the only senior, and they went from winning 0 matches to the next year winning the state championship. To see those guys grow up, like Bill Laycock and Clint, and see what they've done with their lives, and that's why you get into coaching. That's why you do what you do, and that's why I do what I do, and I'm so thankful they're here tonight. My new students, like I said before, Grant Brazino and Madison and all you guys, man, you get me fired up. 10 under tennis is cool, and I'm into it, and I really appreciate you guys for coming. I guess the last thing with my teams is Mary, sweet Mary. And I loved when I volunteered coaching at the University of Alabama, and I love the girls, I mean, the team, and that's, you hit it on the head, Mary. Thank you. I love you. You're great. Wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for my parents, obviously, but one man in particular, and I already told you, is Curt Keeney. Curt, you know, I've had a lot of people, I've been lucky that I've had people who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. But Curt saw something in me that I didn't know was there. You know? I mean, he saw a kid playing at Bowers Park, and he gave me a job as an assistant at a country club. And I can remember the very first time that Curt had me in Indian Hills. And I remember walking down and playing on the lower courts, and I may have been with Chip, I'm not sure. But I remember hitting a ball and just looking around and going, oh my gosh. If I ever had a job working at a club like this, I would have made it. I mean, I said that. And I mean, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm so lucky that I got that opportunity, but it was because of Curt. He didn't, I mean, he had plenty of other people he could have hired, but he hired me. But that wasn't all he did for me. He took me out and played with me every day after lunch. He sat and talked to me and would talk to me about how to handle girlfriends or how to handle, well, he could do a good job with that, but anyway, he talked to me about everything. And Claire and Christina and Caroline, I'm so glad y'all are here tonight. You know, I love y'all. You know, I'm like, okay, I've forgotten a lot of people. I'm just looking around like Nan, you know, see, this is the Nan, I won't say that, but anyway, Nan's another one who'll tell me like it is. Those of you that know Nan, she will tell you, she'll cut through the bull and tell you the way it is. And that's refreshing, and that's what we need more of in our world these days. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my best mother-in-law I've ever had, Arlene. She came up from Florida to be here tonight. That's our inside joke. She tells me I'm her best son-in-law. I'm her only son-in-law. So I don't mean this about a previous life. I'm just saying, you are my best mother-in-law. Jill, Bella, you have no idea the joy you bring to my life. None. Jill, you allow me to do all the things that I love to do. And thank you. You've always believed in me. When I didn't want to try it, when I didn't want to go help Jenny with the women's tennis team, you said, yeah, go ahead, go do it, you'll like it. And you're right. When I've been afraid to do anything, you've been like, no, you can do that. And I love you and I appreciate you. And Clay, how we doing? Everything good?
You're doing great, man.
Cleet, I'm sorry I've left Cleet out too. Cleet, you're another, I've watched you grow up. I'm so proud you work at Indian Hills. I love your integrity and what you do with the kids that you work with and how you conduct your life. I'm just so proud of you. I'm lucky again. I'm starting to teach the third generation, whether it's Lee's kids, Lee Kirby's kids, or I don't know. I'm just a lucky man. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm rambling. Good night, everybody.
When he started rambling, he asked Mark and Clay if it was okay to keep going in that way. As we close our evening, I'd like to thank a couple of people. Elaine Francis, who's been standing in the back, and her husband Larry, who's been doing the video for everything from the flowers to all the arrangements that have been made. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame staff for their support of me and of these people, and especially the group at this table who were so supportive of the people being introduced. So thank you all, and especially you all. Your presence here tonight has made this a memorable experience for these two folks for the rest of their lives. So I hope that you all join us for our reception, which you go down the hall is right down there, and I hope you all have a safe trip home. And with that, we're adjourned. Thank you.